Welcome to this week's edition of Wolves Weekly. I'm your host, Mark Colachico, the Director of Media Relations here at Western Oregon University. I'm joined today by head men's basketball coach Brady Bergeson. Brady, how are you doing today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me back.
No problem. It's been a while since you guys have been on the floor, but when you step on the court Thursday against Western Washington, it's going to be 8 days. But that just seems like the nature of the beast when you play your travel partner.
Yeah, we had a weekend off essentially, at least from competitive games. So we took the time to get a little extra rest, and we chipped away at a little bit of extra skill work and development and some individual work over the course of the weekend. But also gave them some time blocks off to rest their legs a little bit and get away from it a little bit. And got back after it at the beginning of the week here and trying to get better.
And talk a little bit about the last time you guys were on the floor. You played St. Martin's up at their place in the Root Sports Game of the Week. Came away with a nice 10-point victory, wire-to-wire victory over the Saints. You had a nice lead at halftime. They chipped away at it a little bit, got down within 5, but then you guys regrouped and were able to go on a 15-10 run there in the last 6.5 minutes. Talk a little bit about the difference in the two halves, though.
Yeah, I thought we played real well in the first half. We came out and did most of everything we were trying to do and trying to accomplish there. And then at halftime we came out, and I think they did a really nice job of keeping us off balance a little bit on our offensive end. And we didn't, it took us a little while to figure out how we needed to adapt based on what they were throwing at us. Finally we did, and we were able to sort of right the ship there. They made a nice run or two at us there in the second half, made it a good game, and it was competitive. And the games with St. Martin's are always like that with us, and they're tough, and they make shots and they execute, and they're just difficult to score on. So they do a good job, and we knew it would be something like that that we'd have to handle, and our guys did. They just bared down and figured out the attack that we needed to take, and we went about it in a pretty focused manner.
And Andy had a pretty good game in Andy Avgi, 22 points, 10 of 11 from the field. He really seemed to kind of be in the flow of the game and knew what he needed to do. And Julian Nichols stepped up, had 11 points. Just like we said, a good all-around game for you guys offensively.
Yeah, those two guys carried it in patches there, and then others, helped. It ended up being a fairly low-scoring game. So, all of those baskets that we were able to get, especially in the second half, took the edge off a little bit. Andy was big for us. I think he might have been 10 for 11 from the field, and obviously he was going. I don't think we did a very good job of getting him the ball quite enough, even at times at least. And but again, we found our way, and some guys made some plays. We also had a couple guys make some real big defensive plays that stopped runs or started runs in our favor. And those little momentum plays helped us kind of find our bearings as well.
And then, flip the script a little bit here. You guys are home for the final time this year during the regular season, starting on Thursday when you take on Western Washington inside New PE at 7 p.m. And then that game will be on KWVT locally. And then we'll flip to Saturday, and you'll see that you're taking on Simon Fraser. That's a 4 p.m. game, and that'll be senior day. So. We'll talk a little bit now about Western Washington, then we'll look at Simon Fraser, focusing a little bit more on, as we talked about last year, the seniors. But what are you guys looking at with the Vikings coming in? You guys had a really tough 3-point victory up there in Bellingham, but they're riding a 5-game winning streak. You guys are riding an 11-game winning streak. A lot's on the line this week.
Yeah, most teams. Right now, most teams are playing their best basketball. I think that's definitely the case this week with these two opponents coming in, no doubt about it. Western Washington's kind of found their way. They're showing people why they were the preseason pick to win the conference, and they're very dangerous. I think they're figuring out some things internally, how to work together and whatnot. At least that's how it appears on film. And I think they're playing really well together. We all know that they're loaded with talent and fully capable. And so that's going to be a heck of a battle for us. They're playing really well lately, and we're going to have to be ready to go.
And then, we talk a little bit about it, as a program and as a person yourself. You guys go day at a time, game at a time. So Here on Wolves Weekly, we won't make the mistake of looking ahead towards Simon Fraser. We'll focus now on the Vikings, but you've got 4 quality guys that are going to be playing their last home game on Saturday. Lewis Thomas, Adam Hastings, Marwan Sarhan, and Kelvin Okunde. We talked a little about it last week, but once again, what do these guys mean to your team this year?
These guys have given so much. Kelvin's been with us just this year. He's been a tremendous addition to our program and our culture, and he's come in as an exchange student from Germany, and he's figured out quickly how to fit right in, how to make his mark, and how to make himself and our team and our program better. The other guys have been here a little bit longer. Adam Hastings, Lewis Thomas, and Marwan Sarhan, each in their second year here, and each transferred in. And those 3 guys have gotten a great deal accomplished in the 2 years. They came in on the heels of a team that was rebuilding and trying to find its way within this conference and trying to make its mark in last year's team. And all 3 guys were instrumental in the run we put on late last year, and finishing with 18 wins and winning a postseason game and all those things that hadn't happened yet up until that point. And without those guys, we don't do it. Same thing this year. We're not reflecting upon this year at this point in time, but we know we're having a year that is potentially very special. We still haven't met our goals. We're still very focused on those things. But no matter how it ends, those guys will leave here having left a real positive and indelible mark on our program, on our athletics department, on our university as a whole, and I'm very thankful for those 4 guys.
And you talk about what they've done for the program, but what have they done for you personally? This is really going to be the first class that you're going to put through. All the guys previously, if they had been with the program for any extended period of time, they would have been recruited by somebody else. But these guys are truly recruits that you brought in. What have they done for you personally?
So by the time we actually get a student athlete onto campus, the relationship's already been going and building momentum and even in the recruiting process to us is very much a relationship building process. If we can't connect with a student athlete in the recruiting process, it can be hard to connect with that student athlete when we get them on campus and in the court. That's probably not a good fit. These guys were automatic fits for us. And, the longer you get to spend with these kids, the closer you get to them. I think that our staff does a terrific job it's important to all of us, the quality of the relationships that are built. And I think that we recruit trustworthy kids that we enjoy and we like being around. And I think that's part of the culture that we've developed. These guys are no exception. They've become very close to me, very close to my assistants, very close to each other over the course because you spend so much time together and you care about each other so much. And so the longer you're in it and you're together in there, the stronger that bond gets. Those guys are top-notch, level 1 human beings. I wouldn't trade them for anything, and I know that they will be people that we'll be in touch with for years and decades into the future.
Well, Coach, I know it's going to be a tough week for you and your team. You got 2 tough, high-quality opponents coming in, as we said, with Western Washington here on Thursday at 7 p.m., and then Simon Fraser will close out the home regular season on Saturday at 4 p.m. So fans, be sure to come out, root on the number 15 ranked men's basketball team in the country in Western Oregon. Let's pack the gym for these last 2 games. Let's really root the Wolves on. And Coach, we wish you good luck this week, and we'll flip the script next week and talk about your last 2 games before the tournament. But as we say always, good luck this week with Western and with Simon. But fans will be definitely tuning in this week. Go on to woolwolves.com for the live stats and live video of the game. But we hope to see you in person. But we'll talk to you next week on Wolves Weekly. And as always, go Wolves!